So the word Nephilim in Hebrew are the ones that have fallen, or the fallen ones.
Do you believe there is going to be like one person that kind of circle around like that's the mark of the beast?
It's talking about, again, that spirit that people possesses that will cause them then to be in direct opposition to the God of Israel.
Now, some people think it's a man, like an individual, and some people think it's a nation. Where
I mean, when was the last time that you saw, people that are so anti everything that God represents, but in a radical way? It's a spirit. It's the spirit. The spirit has always been the determining factor, the one that quickeneth. And when you're looking for a person, when you're looking for a man, you won't be able to find it because you're looking in the wrong places. You're looking, you're looking for skin color. You're looking for,
we're thinking white man. So what does the end look like? Do we have the mark of the beast on some European man, or is it does the Middle East start shooting bombs over here, blowing up America?
People are looking for some apocalyptic.
Yes. Yeah, blood in the river.
That's at least that's not what the word says.
7 signs of the breaking of the seals.
The end, based on what our leader teaches, is that you will be seeing everything that you had seen then. You'll be seeing those things happen now, right? But it's not going to be a total destruction of the earth. Okay. Like, the earth is going to start swallowing up people and all of those things, right?
2012.
But you're going to see calamities like you see now.
True.
That you haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. You're going to see people so apathetic. When was the last time that you saw, people that are so anti everything that God represents, but in a radical way?
That's deep. I get what you're saying. What you're saying is that people become so self-sufficient that they don't need God.
God don't even exist in the equations.
Yes.
We're not even talking about that. And so you get to that point where we don't want to have nothing to do with this. And then you're going to see that there's going to be this Euro, Gentile, Western, liberal, democratic, capitalistic society that represents everything that God says ye shall do. They say, don't do. Mm-hmm. This society is not going to maintain. Mm. It's not going to be sustainable. You're going to see that everything that this represents is going to absolutely collapse. Mm. Right? But it's not going to collapse in a way where you believe it's just going, things are going to get so bad, right, that people will prefer to die as opposed to continue to live in the conditions they're going to be living in. Mm. And then the end will come, wherein there would have to be an alternative to this lifestyle, an alternative to this leadership, an alternative to this society, an alternative to this mindset. That's going to be the time where the rise of Jacob is going to have to happen. But the rise of Jacob is the fall of Esau only once Jacob rises. That means that doctrine that's supposed to come and move the current world order out the way would have to be in place, and there would have to be people who are actually teaching it and preaching it and working it into the minds of the people. And that's going to determine that here is the end. You will see all of these institutions start to crumble, and you see them already. The EU, the United Nations, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund.
People pulling their children out of school.
Condoms are being put in school at the age of 7 and 8 and 9. They teaching children that they can be able to choose their gender. All these things are happening at this time, all at the same time. You see these calamities, these natural calamities that you hadn't experienced, you hadn't seen before. All this is telling you, yeah, that's it. That's just about it. And it's just going to get to a point where this society won't be able to to last any longer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to remain on its feet until we bring something else. I could tell you that it's not going to just collapse and then it's just going to be a void. It's not going to collapse until we step up to the plate.
Okay. I definitely understand that there is going to be some form of destruction. Do you believe there is going to be like one person that kind of circle around like that's the mark of the beast? Now, some people think it's a man, like an individual, and some people think it's a nation. Where is it that have y'all
It's a spirit. It's
okay.
it's the spirit. The spirit has always been the determining factor, the one that quickeneth. And when you're looking for a person, when you're looking for a man, you won't be able to find it because you're looking in the wrong places. You're looking, well, I don't know, you're looking for a skin color, you're looking for
we thinking white man
right,
all day, every day.
So you gotta look for a spirit. You gotta look for those people who operate in such way that is so diabolical, so anti God. And it's not only European people. Let me break it to you. There are a lot of people also who, Adam and Eve, if we say that Adam and Eve fell because of them turning their backs to God, and then we say that they were people of our skin hue, and we talk about Esau and Jacob. Jacob and Esau were brothers, so they were also from the same seeds, same skin hue. That means that we probably should be looking in-house first.
We can't accept that.
we probably need to look in-house first, and then because we have a way of trying to always look on the outside for something, but when the children of God came to present themselves before God in the book of Job, and Satan came along with them, but God asked, "Whence cometh you, Satan?" He said, "From going up and down, to and fro, seeing who I may devour." Now, everybody that was there was looking around like, Satan here too? They couldn't even recognize him. So it's either he looked like them, he was practicing like them. They had a lot in common for them not to be able to recognize that he was in their midst.
Judas.
He was right there. He was right there with everybody. They said, "We going up to the temple?" He said, "Yep, we going up to the temple." They said, "We need to keep the holy days." He said, "Yep, we need to keep the holy days." He said, everything they said, absolutely. He didn't come out and say, "Look, I'm Satan." He was right there with everybody else. So that means that we're looking outwardly, we're looking outside for something that's right there in the inside. And you're going to miss it every time because you're expecting it to come from outside.
Of course we are. It's not our problem.
Ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
It can't be us. Yeah. No, absolutely. It can't be from, we're not going to have a betrayer of the people inside of us. Judas is going to be one of the Romans. We're going to be able to recognize him. We're going to be able to see him clear.
Right.
There he is right there. No, sir. No, sir. It's going to be one that looks like you, that walks like you, that talks like you, that acts like you, that give you the impression that he is like you. But his job is to destroy everything internally. Because it says that Satan doesn't come unless he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So that means it don't mean that every time he's coming for that. That means that he's not coming if he can't do that. So this is why he's coming. So Satan is going to be right there alongside everybody, and he's going to tell you what he's trying to do. He ain't going to tell us, but he's going to tell God, like, yeah, I came to destroy. That's right. I came to see how I could be able to devour everybody. And what he asked, he said, "Respite me until the day that they are raised." Delay everything that you want to put on me until they raise up. And then he said, okay, what about the only reason why Job is really praising you is because you got a hedge around him.
Right. True.
But let that hedge go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna make sure that he curse you to your face. And he asks, okay, can I do it? Whatever I want to do to him, do whatever you want to do to him. Just don't put your hands on him.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy everything around him. Bring him to a point that he just feels like there's no reason for me to continue to live.
Mm-hmm.
His family is looking at him crazy.
I know that's right.
You know, his friends are like, bruh, just go on and curse him and let's get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I can't do it. So Satan is gonna make sure that he keep and we be talking about this element as if this is some regular guy. This was the archangel
mm-hmm.
who would fell out of heaven and took 2/3 of the stars with him. 2/3.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't no regular dingler. This is a master at his craft. Mm-hmm. This is a master at his craft. So you have to do it in such a way where you won't be able to detect it. And so the only way that you can detect something is it'll have to be in-house. Mm. It would have to be something that looks like you, that feels like you, that operates like you, that you're not even thinking about that person. And when it comes out that he was the one that did it, you like, bro, I'm disappointed. I gave you everything.
Right.
Like, I believed in you. You know what I mean? You stayed in my house.
Right.
With my family.
Mm-hmm.
I fed you.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you money when you needed. Bro, we were cool for 30 years. Every day hanging out together. And then you do this? That's how it's gonna come.
Okay. When it comes to, because you said something about the spirit, right? So I definitely agree with that. We're dealing with a spirit of ancient time from the beginning. I've heard of the Nephilim, and I know that's always been a conversation surrounding that. The Nephilim came, dwelled with the man, and from there, the Most High separated the Nephilim, cast them down to the earth, and 1/3 of them fell. Mm-hmm. Now, I do believe in a different look upon what Nephilim are, but I would like to hear your take on it, because some people believe that Nephilim are angels.
So the word Nephilim in Hebrew,
okay,
are the ones that had fallen, or the fallen ones, right? And when it speaks in the Bible about how hath thou fallen, right? We're talking about a spirit again. Have you fallen, you mighty one? I mean, we're talking about the morning star,
right?
Right. This is the one that shined brighter than everybody. How have ye fallen? It's talking about, again, that spirit that people possesses, right? That will cause them then to be in direct opposition to the God of Israel. We're not looking for people. We're looking for the spirit.
Gotcha. You answered it. Because most people believe it's an angel, and that angel fell. I do believe that it was a spirit.
It was a spirit.
It was spirit, and the spirit possesses, because in the scriptures it shows that the Messiah cast out spirits.
Yes, sir.
That's what he battled with. That's spirits. Right. He didn't battle with the flesh.
That's right.
He battled with spirit. Okay, cool. So y'all believe that the Nephilim is the spirit. All right. How do you, like right now, you said you are the ambassador
of the African diaspora in Israel.
All right, ambassador. So how did you get that title, or is it something? I know it ain't just a nickname. It's a joke. There ain't no nickname. How did you get that title? And then how were you designated to go do what you're doing?
So the African Diaspora Collective has been working in 15 countries. already, represent the diaspora in those countries. And it started as a nonprofit organization, a non-governmental organization. But then because of the interfaces that we have now with governments, with institutions, and otherwise, then it's actually become something that's pretty much respected and known in a lot of these circles, specifically dealing with the African diaspora. And so we wanted to also extend into Northeastern Africa, right, into Israel, because when we were having these conversations with the people and I was sharing them the information about Israel, about the communities that are there, and people had no idea that we even existed there, it's like, oh, we definitely didn't have this in mind. Like Israel, Africa, the diaspora, like.
Is that in the States that we're talking?
Yeah, it was established in Washington, D.C.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. And so, after a few years of us actually working on it, then I was appointed by the organization to be the ambassador of the African diaspora in Israel. But also in Israel, I was appointed by the various communities, the Council of Communities that had come together and discussed the operation of the African diaspora, or the representation of the African diaspora in Israel on a greater scale.
So how did you wind up getting the notoriety just to even get there to be in the room?
The work that I do in Israel, right?
I got you.
I've been working, for a while, one, on behalf of our community, right, in Israel, to bring notoriety to our community, to share the good news about what we managed to do, to take that model to other places, to try and replicate it in other places, to see what we could be able to do using what we managed to do for 50 plus years in Israel in other places. And also in being involved in a lot of the other communities of African ancestry and a lot of the challenges that they experience, like oppression and like fighting against police brutality and fighting to be able to have a place at the table politically and operating civil suits against the Ministry of Justice that is very unjust, and trying to see how we could be able to get these children who've been unlawfully locked up and juvenile out, and trying to just make our voices heard, to amplify the voices of the African diaspora in Israel in these various communities. And you don't have a lot of people who are willing to do so, or even able to do so. But then I did just use the platforms that I have to be able to speak to masses of the people. So when you have 90,000 people following you on Instagram and another 17,000 over here, another 7,000 over there, and you always moving around because I'm grassroots. You know what I mean? I'm down there with the folks, and then we're gonna go speak to the people up at the top. But this is our base. This is our foundation, and they believed in me enough to be able to have me in a lot of those rooms to represent what it is that we need to represent, to share our side of the story. And then from there, it just becomes, something that's normal, something that's regular. And whenever something is happening with these communities and we need to get on the media and we need to do such and such, then they, reach out to me. Ashriel, can you, we're doing this. Can you assist us in organizing and such and such and such?
It's sounding like that you got your notoriety from social media, educating people through social media. No,
from the grassroots.
Oh, okay. So is your grassroots in Dimona, Israel? I mean,
in Israel generally. Yeah.
Okay. So we're looking at it from the country of Israel. So you're speaking surrounding those areas.
That's right.
All right.
Right. And so you have situations like injustices or corruption, deportation issues. Those are the issues that he would go out and push into the public and expound on.
Gotcha. Yeah. So from that, you're speaking in those engagements, and then someone says, "Hey, we would love for him to come to, Washington D.C."
We would love. I heard that that specific portion happened like this. So I was speaking on a panel about world peace and what has the community in
Israel.
It was international. It was on Zoom. It was in 2019.
Oh, okay. Almost the pandemic?
It was during the pandemic.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was speaking on the panel, and then and so it was a sister who was on the panel. Well, no, she wasn't on the panel, but she was watching, right? So she had got in contact with a brother of ours, Aniam, right? It was just, she was just telling him, like, I heard this brother speaking or whatever. I need to get in touch with him.
Right.
I need to talk to him. Do you have an in with him? We created that connection, and her and I began to build a pretty good relationship. Then she later on told another sister who was politically involved, actually out here in Georgia. She was running campaigns and stuff for people, for the state legislator and mayoral campaigns for folks. So she was really involved politically out here. And the sister out of New York put me in touch with her down here and said, okay, y'all need to talk. There's some things I'm sure that y'all could be able to do together. And so when her and I spoke, it was automatic click.
Gotcha.
We said, okay, cool. So what's the next move? And then she was just, explaining to me about the African Diaspora Collective. And she wanted to just take it to the board, to speak to them about the work that I do, and see if they'll be interested in bringing me on to represent the African diaspora in Israel. And it took a little time, and we here now.
All right, so I definitely understand it takes a little time to get things started. Once you get started, it's kind of like this snowball effect. And after the snowball is created, you wind up getting comfortable. One thing becomes a spiritual awakening, and then next thing you know, you don't even, like how Israel comes out of the wilderness, only a few made it. Right? Then they get in their land, they waking up, and then they get lazy. You see what I'm saying? So my question becomes, what struggle does young people have, in Dimona now that could affect their beliefs?
There's a lot of struggles. I mean, because we live in the world, we're in the world.
I'm talking about in Dimona now.
No, I'm saying it's a lot of struggles. One, I mean, being exposed to things outside of the community, because the majority of us, we grew up in the community, so we have a lot of exposure to a lot of things on the outside, right? And so, because we were kind of shielded from a lot of it. But as people grew older, and then we became more involved in the Israeli society, like going to the IDF and otherwise, then it exposed a lot of us to other things that we
military?
Yeah.
IDF? Okay.
It exposed us to a lot of things that we were not exposed to before. And so in cases like that, obviously, people would be interested in trying things, like, for example, we're vegans, right? But surely, as young people, you may want to try something else. You want to try some, I don't know, some cheese and some otherwise. What I mean?
Oh, that's right. Vegans don't eat cheese.
That's right.
Or eggs.
Or meat, or dairy, or
I figured the meat part. So
or fish.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So, so it's a possibility then that people would be exposed to certain things like that. And just the natural instinct is, I would like to try it. Not because I want to go all off path, but I would like to try that. And then we won't be the first community to have people who wanted to try something that was outside of the confines of the community itself. You also have obviously people who did leave the community because they wanted to go and experience everything outside of the community, but then they realized, like, oh, this is all it was about. I can go back home.
Okay.
I did it. And so we're gonna have young people who are going to be exposed to a lot of things, or even in the age of social media, there are a lot of things that are calling your name and trying to get you involved with these things. And it's natural for children to go out to explore. The only thing that can be done in a case like this with the children is you just have to know that you gave them all that you can give them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And whatever it is that they do after, it's because again, my leader was asked in regards to he was asked in regards to the military service, right? It's like, how can you guarantee that your children are going to come back and be and he was like, look, this is going to be their challenge. You know, he said we had our Liberia, we had our wilderness. This is going to be theirs. I can't guarantee 100%.
Right.
You know, the only thing I can do is give them all the tools necessary for them to be able to try to navigate that space, navigate this world. And we just have to pray, you know, that they're able to come through. We'll continue to assist them all along the way, but we just have to pray. But you know the story of the prodigal son that
come back. Yeah,
you know, you went out. I mean, yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're gonna have some heartbreaks, but the beauty of it is that so long as we remain and they're able to come back home, once they get a whiff of the world and say, "Oh, it's real out here."
Yeah.
You know,
pun intended.
Right? No.
It's real.
It's real.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it. I see it. Yeah, it's real. Is out here. That's right. Yeah. So you know, you can come back home.
Okay.
You know, he who was lost is now found. He who was gone is now. So yeah, I mean, we got our experiences.
They can come back with a Gentile wife.
I mean,
a white woman.
For us, I mean, you have people who will be considered white in the community or whatever, people who were, you know, European or half European or whatever. But again, it's the spirit that quickeneth. Right? It's more than just ethnicity, because if it was about ethnicity and not spirituality, culture, tradition, and things like that, then that means that I could be able to also just get, you know, or no, I mean, you know, it don't have to be a Gentile. You can just get an ordinary woman from the continent. Now right. What? Okay, she's jet black like you, and she is in direct opposition to everything that you believe in.
Right.
So what? Now, can you marry her because she's your color, or is it something that needs to be a bit deeper for you to gravitate to her? So these questions have to be asked. You know, it's not about color, it's not about skin, but it's about a spirit that is being carried through certain people. We just know that, you know, that the European have shown that there's a spirit that is on them that will cause them to carve out, you know, Africa. It will cause them to carry out these atrocities that they carry out all over the world. That will cause them to set up systems that are oppressive for all people besides them. All these things, you know, they've been the one who have been leading the charge with that. Now, if you have other people who look like me and you who do the same thing, I got a problem with them too.
Right.
No respect of color.
Right.
If you operate in that same way, like they do, with that same spirit, then I have a problem with you too.
Right. Can't be trusted. Can't be accountable. You know, a thorn in our own side. Yeah.
I definitely.
And then you have the other extreme where you have Europeans who help you more than the people who look like you, or who are more aligned. You have those who come. You're the people. I've had that said to us. Yeah. If everybody in the land were like you,
that's right. I've heard it too. That's right.
Wow. Question: what is the biggest misconception of your community?
I would say probably that the community is a cult. Right? That like people are forced to stay. People are, if you want to leave, you can leave.
Right.
If you want to do what you can do. But you know, there are rules and regulations like in every society. And if you don't want to follow the rules and the regulations, then you know then there are consequences for that. Now you can't not want to follow the rules and regulations and not want to deal with the consequences.
Right.
Like something I can understand. You know, you probably try to be a little more lenient. You know, whatever. Because usually when things start, they start super stringent because you got to have a system in place there. And if it start off slow and fragile, then you won't be able to really establish nothing. So it may, you know, I'm sure that people experienced a lot of challenges in the initial stages of the development of the community.
Okay.
100% of that. But at the same time, as time goes on and generations change and we have a better understanding of what it is that we're trying to do, then you could become a little more lenient.
Okay.
You know, but because of experiences that people had before during the challenging times where they were still in the process of building, and some people may even speak about that, or you may even have articles that are written about these things or whatever. Then that's the impression that people have, a lasting impression about the community, because these are the experiences that people had experienced. I would have wished that some people didn't experience a lot of things they experienced. You know what I mean? But at the same time, when you're nation building, you're going to go up against a whole lot of stuff. You know what I mean? You're going to experience a whole lot of things. And if that's what the media and other people outside choose to hold on to, you know, as opposed to watching you evolve from where you were to where you are, then that's just on them. We just don't have to do what we got to do to continue to take it to another level. We started at one point, and we need to get to the ultimate point. But I would say that that's the biggest misconception.
Okay. So you said something. You said you have to have restraints,
Yes,
and
sir.
then you loosen up.
Yeah.
So my question becomes, what, like, for example, I don't know a lot about Muslims, but I know they supposed to pray so many times a day. We already know there's a dietary law. We already know that, I'm just making this up. I might be lying. You tell me. That guys walk 2 steps behind their husband. Is that true? I don't know.
That's
a custom.
That's in the Arab culture, in the Arab Muslim culture.
Is it something that we may not know that y'all custom says you have to do? So we already know sundown. Sundown is when the day starts.
That's right.
We know that what you just said. Like he doesn't touch no switch or nothing. Whatever's on is on. He doesn't travel on the Sabbath, right? Of course, you guys are vegan, so that's different. Because here we travel on the Sabbath. That's pretty much, and we cutting lights on and off. So what is something else that you said that may be stringent for someone who may be a believer, but they ain't ready for?
Probably fasting on the Sabbath.
Right.
Oh, so you can't eat on the Shabbat?
For the most part, no.
Breaking news. That is breaking news.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, for real. That's breaking news. I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
So every Shabbat you gotta fast.
Yes.
From what time to what time?
From sundown to sundown.
Sundown to sundown. Boy, they burning after sundown.
I mean, that's part of it. Yeah, and somebody who experienced.
Do y'all feast after sundown? Okay, so like a good meal. Okay,
we feast before the fast and after the fast.
All right. Oh, that's right. That's why you do the Friday meal.
That's right.
Oh,
that's right.
Now, I do know that the Jewish people do that.
What?
The Friday meal.
Right.
Okay.
Every Friday.
That's right.
Yeah. But did y'all pick that up, or just something that you felt like?
What, having a Shabbat meal?
Yes.
No. I mean, you just about to go into the fast.
Okay. Well, where you get the fast from?
Well,
it's just more traditional.
No, it's not. It's traditional, but it's also biblical.
Okay.
And what do I mean by that? Because we have the power to define, and we have the ability also to be able to understand things that are not just on the surface. And so when you look at the creation, you see that God created the man, right? And he said that he was like the tree of the garden, right? Ki Adam hu etz hasadeh. The man is a tree of the garden, right? And so what happened with trees?
You broke that down in Hebrew.
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
But if you know Hebrew, you know what words mean.
You'd be able to hear that.
That's right.
Hey, I'm learning.
It's in the Bible. You can just translate it. Yeah. But it's in the Bible. It comes from the Bible.
No, I'm talking about the fact that Adam is a tree.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's Hasadeh.
It says, Adam, you are a tree?
Yeah. The man is a tree of the garden. Ki Adam hu etz hasadeh.
Maybe I just bumped over that part of it. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool.
So when you look at when you look at creation, you see, okay, that every 7 years, because we were also commissioned, right? Every 7 years you have
fast of the fields, fast of yes.
That's right. Now when you fast once every week, right?
Completion.
For 7 years. That means that you would have fasted then for 52 weeks. 52 weeks is 1 year. 1 year then, 7 years throughout. So that means that you have fasted that entire year along with the earth, along with the creation.
That's I like that connect. That them dots, they connect.
And then also just generally, I mean, it's good for your body. I mean, the body, as the Minister Farrakhan says, that it's kind of like a rubber band, right? And you continue to pull the rubber band. Now at one point, it's going to either pop, right, and break, or you would have to bring it back into, into its proper circumference.
You talking about my waistline?
No, I ain't talking about you.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about everybody else.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about you.
Thank you.
And it's also with that, it's a stage within the fast. It's called a autophagy.
Okay.
That new cells are created, and it kills off old cells. And again, I guess that's the process, because cells weren't meant to die. It's supposed to regenerate,
right?
And that's how we supposed to live.
That's true.
Death is the opposite of life, not a part of it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. That's a nugget. Sundown to sunset, you fast. What do you do during the Shabbat outside, like during the daytime? Do y'all come and be at a gathering?
You have service.
But I mean, how do everybody show up at one service in Dimona?
I mean, the service is right there inside the community.
How many people there?
About 2,000, but not. I mean, we talking about men, women, children, everybody. Some people with conditions, some people with this, but we also understand something that's super important. And that's the fact that you are commissioned also to rest. The Sabbath is a day of rest.
True.
So we do want to continue to share information, share classes, and do those things, but we also understand that sometimes we need to just let people stay at home and sleep in and relax and prepare yourself for another week.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? We have reading materials and information that's being provided by the priesthood and by others, so that you can be able to do that at your home, right? You don't have to necessarily come out each time. Every now and then we may have, besides the high holy days.
Gotcha.
But for the most part, there are reading materials and information we want to provide to everybody, so you can be able to do it in the comfort of your home. But because we want you to be 100% once you come out, and it's the hardest thing for you to be. You can't work for 7 days. I mean, worshiping for us is it's a regular thing. It's not, because work and worship again. And we were talking earlier about the fact that people have not the understanding properly of words. Work and worship is the same word in Hebrew. Ayin Vet Dalet, avad. So anybody who interpret that as work or as work, you would have to know what's the context there that is being discussed. But they mean the same thing. But we want to allow you to rest your body, to rest your soul, and be prepared for the next week.
All right. So if I'm visiting or anybody else visiting Dimona, what's the one thing they should do or visit?
What do you mean by that?
Like if you come to Atlanta, you need to go so-and-so to visit.
So in Israel in general, I think that you would agree with me. If you come to Israel, you need to do what we call a sacred visitation.
That's right.
So that's the African tour of the land.
That's right.
Most people that come to Israel, they get a European tour of the land. And then if you're African or African American and you get the European tour of the land, you don't see yourself in the story.
Okay.
You don't see yourself in the story. But if you get the sacred visitation, then you can actually see the land from an African perspective.
That's right.
So that's the one thing. Everything else is just wonderful. I mean, the grapes in the land, the mangoes in the land. Again, if you get to experience those things, you're just gonna love them anyway.
That's right.
But yeah, sacred visitation is a must.
So, how does your community stay separate from the Israeli identity?
How do we keep ourselves separate?
Yes. Because traditionally, are y'all still on the same calendar as the Israeli calendar when it comes to feast days and all that?
For the most part,
we on the camera. The priesthood who are responsible for all of the spiritual practices and high holy days and stuff, then they provide that information to us. But for the most part, as far as the lunar calendar, we operate according to the lunar and the solar calendar. So we could be able to know, just based on the cycles and the seasons, what is in line with what. But we leave that to those people who that's their job to do, and I think they do a great job.
Do y'all have your own? When you say your priest, what does that mean?
So you have we have the established institution of the divine prophetic priesthood, right? And their mandate was that they are the ones who are to lead us, because in the days of our fathers, you had the prophets and you had the priests, you had those who were responsible for the spiritual practices, of making sure that we stay in alignment. And the kings would go and consult with the priests, and also, the priests were the ones who were responsible for running everything inside of the temple. And but you had the prophets also who kings would go and consult with. So you had the social political leadership, right, who usually were the kings and otherwise. Then you also had the spiritual prophetic leadership, who were the ones who were leading the way. And so that's the mandate of the prophetic priesthood at Jerusalem, to lead the way in all things that are dealing with these spiritual practices, customs, or traditions, holy days.
So, in the end, what would you like to say to the Black people of United States of America? What would be something that you would like for them to know?
I would say that when we left here, going to Israel to establish the community, we wanted to establish an environment, a society that could be able to be a model to our people wherever they are in the world. We managed to do so. And so there's a lot of talk here about the necessity of us being autonomous, being separated from the systems, providing for ourselves, doing for ourselves, community building, expansion, and all of those. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. It already exists. We did that. All we have to do now is continue to strengthen and to refine the system that has already been in place, that has already been created. We didn't go to Israel looking for jobs or looking for a handout or anything like that. We went to Israel to reestablish the long-awaited kingdom of God on earth. All that simply means is that we wanted to go and to build a society that will reflect all of those attributes that we attribute to God. So we say that God is love. God is peace. God is justice. God is this. So we wanted to take that and we wanted to actually build it into a society that you could be able to see these things happening in real time. So we built the Village of Peace, and the Village of Peace is built on the principles of peace, love, justice, family, equality. And then everything else, the institutions that we built internally would have to then reflect all of these things. And so when our people on this end are talking about the necessity of us finding an alternative to the life that we live here, that alternative exists. Now all we have to do is just connect all the dots together and then take that idea and replicate it in the midst of our people here so that we can be able to look at an alternative life that may be able to, or that definitely will provide to them a better standard than what we've been experiencing up until now. And so that's our message. We don't have to be singing "We Shall Overcome" and being scared of Trump and being worried about all of these things. We did it.
But we actually changed that song. We sing now, "We Have Overcome."
That's right.
That's the way we sing it.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how can people get in contact with you? What's your handles?
So on all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, it's Ashriel Moore. So that's ASH.
Slow down. Got people in.
That's right. You're true. You're right. ASHRIEL MOORE. So that's ASHRIEL MOORE on all platforms.
How can somebody, if they wanted to donate, how can they donate?
So they could also, once they go into my YouTube, you will be able to see in the descriptions.
Okay.
That there are multiple ways that you can donate through Buy Me a Coffee.
Okay.
You can donate through PayPal.
Gotcha.
You can donate through, there are 2 other options there as well. Okay. So we'll be more than happy.
And you're dealing with Negroes. So if they donate, what is the donation going to?
So the donation is going to the work that we continue to do for the strengthening of our institutions internally. I mean, if you're donating directly to me, then I'm gonna do whatever I want to do with the money. You gotta let you know if that's for me or that's for the community. Right. If it's for the community, then obviously we're gonna have the funds allocated to those people who are responsible for the distribution of the funds, whatever is necessary internally in the community. Right. And they can be able to handle those things. So just let me know if it's for me or if it's
Right. Yeah, because that's important. That they know is for you or for them, because you had to fly over here to go to that conference.
Yes, and that's out of pocket.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely need to donate. This brother has come here and blessed me with over 2 hours of taping. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and give us your handle.
Well, yeah. Man, I got many handles. I'm known as Hebrew Bakes in Atlanta.
Okay.
But
are you still there currently?
Yeah, I mean, Hebrew Bakes King's Collection is really what I'm working on right now. Gotcha. That's the clothing page.
Okay.
King's Collection with a K.
Hold on now. Is it up? Because I'm buying.
Yeah, it's up.
You got
King's
plus
Collection
size?
with a K. We got all sizes.
Okay, cool.
I don't know about plus your size. We ain't got that plus.
Y'all some slim brothers. That's what happens when you don't eat meat.
Yeah. But King's Collection
with a K.
King's Collection with a K on all platforms. Also, what else I say?
You say Hebrew Bakes, but you own the King's Collection with a K.
Yeah,
and they go there now.
That's it.
You don't want to give me a cash app or nothing, huh? Okay. I mean,
nah, listen. Man, it's all good.
No, man, listen.
Donate to Ashriel. It's to the same source, man.
Oh,
pushing my brothers, pushing me.
Hey, see that? Look at that. See that? See, humble brothers. They saying pushing him. At the end of the day, y'all, I really appreciate you coming. Bless what's he brewing. I definitely wish success because just like you just said, your success is my success. Yes,